Okay, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here with David, and we are drinking. Cheers.
Cheers, motherfuckers.
We had to switch the camera view because every time I look at him, I was actually looking off screen over here. So
That's so true.
okay. So
Thanks for having me, Tom.
oh, no problem.
And thank you for lunch. It was quite delicious.
Wasn't it delicious?
Delicious.
Wait till you see what happens after lunch.
Oh my god, can't wait for the happy ending Sunday.
So I made some filet mignon. It was absolutely
Delicious.
Yeah, very good.
Garlic bread too.
Yeah, garlic bread.
And some
yeah.
corn on the cobs.
Tuesday. We got
Tuesday.
off
I know, the
here.
day after Memorial Day.
I know.
Good seeing you.
I remember Monday. I remember Memorial Day.
Same.
So I've been working like an asshole the last couple of days, so it was nice to have off.
Same here.
And I can't hang out here and
Yeah.
bullshit with Dave.
It's good to see you, man. It's been a
Yeah.
long time.
Dude, there's like 1,000 people watching us right now.
Really?
No.
Oh, whatever.
I'm recording this
They're
to a
fucking-
file on my hard drive that no one will
Well-
probably ever see.
It's their fucking loss.
All right, Dave, what are we going to talk about?
I don't know. Lead the way.
So, let me see. I don't know where to start. The thing is, I think some of the stuff we've been talking about already, like I already kind of, we've already kind of hit on. I'm like, oh, we got to save that for the podcast.
Yeah, kinda.
Let's talk about politics. We're always good about that.
Oh, we are.
So David is a big supporter of Joe Biden. You actually voted for him, and you are.
No, wrong David.
Oh wait, no, that's you.
No, fortunately it's not me.
What am I thinking of?
Didn't vote for Biden.
All right, what really bothers you about Joe Biden? I gotta be honest. You know what's really cool? I know I just asked you a question, and now I'm train rolling over you. But what I like most about Biden is that I don't know anything about him.
Same here.
That's what I love.
Yeah.
I love the fact that I have a president that isn't on the fucking front of the newspaper every single
Exactly.
day.
Exactly.
Because he's making a comment about why can't we use nukes? Or, like whatever. Like some crazy fucking thing.
Yeah.
And maybe in a way that's more dangerous because I'm not paying attention to some
It's
of the
true.
policies. Maybe
It's
that's
true.
Maybe that's but
I feel like he's in hiding most of the time, you know? You know what's
fucking
going on.
enjoy it.
White
I
House.
really
Do you really?
I
like transparency, actually.
I have exhaustion. I have exhaustion from being worried about Trump every fucking week. I mean, I will tell you this. After some time, I felt a lot better about it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, well, he hasn't gone to nuclear war yet.
That's
so,
true.
maybe next week, I was just like, okay, you're not supposed to feed the trolls. It's all about him. It's all about his ego. As long as he's on the cover of the fucking newspaper every day, as long as it's about him, he'll be fed, and he's not going to do anything fucking crazy or stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I was hoping for, anyway.
I can agree with you on that one.
So I don't know, but I just had enough. And you know what? I'm also grateful about Trump is that he's given me perspective on other Republican candidates.
There you go.
Like, I hated George Bush so bad. Oh my God, George Bush is so bad. And now I'm like, oh my God, it's like a whole new level of okay. Going forward, a respectable, I think, what's his name? I hear good things about the governor of Florida. I think he
Ron DeSantis, he's the man.
See?
He's the man.
I am hoping, listen, even if he ends up as president and I am mad as fucking shit, I hope, because here's what I think. I think Trump hijacked the Republican Party, and he's the face of the Republican Party.
I agree.
And I think that's terrible. I think that there are, I want there to be other candidates that go back to true conservative and Republican values, like fiscal responsibility, and I'm okay with that. I really am. But coming up with a fucking nasty nickname for every one of your, just
true.
I think all it would take is for Trump to be say something negative about DeSantis and oh, what a fucking phony loser or whatever, and then bam, that will be and then all of the people, all the asylum people, all the QAnon, all the
Yeah.
And that's another thing that grinds my gears, man. There are legitimately people that believe that was those were liberals storming the Capitol on the 6th. They were,
never know, man. You never know.
You one of them?
You never know.
You're one of them?
No, I was working that day, actually. I wasn't at the Capitol that day.
Oh, you weren't there?
No,
okay.
I wasn't, actually.
Are you one of the QAnon people that believe that wasn't... You mean all the people that are being prosecuted are secret fucking liberals that are just,
There's a lot of things that are out there that we don't really know about. Believe it or not. I mean,
okay, so now
there's
we're talking about aliens.
Well,
we going full Joe Rogan here?
Sure, UFOs.
Dude,
UFOs
literally,
if
the
you
FBI
like.
has been tracking all of them down. I don't know where you consume your news, but almost all of them are like true fucking QAnon. The woman that was shot in the neck. She was the one that was actually lost her life there.
There were some Antifa. There was some BLM there. I mean, they've proven it. They've picked out people from those.
When you say some, okay.
Some.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
What percentage? Hold on, let me just silence my phone here. Very. I can't believe this.
Silence that.
What percentage? Okay, so Trump gave a speech down the road.
Sure.
Right. He riled everyone up. He's like, you got to take this country back, right? He got everyone up into his
Sure.
side. You think that most of the people that were at that rally, that marched down the avenue of the street, if you had to guess a percentage, what percentage of people would you guess in that crowd that were storming the Capitol, hanging out, waving the Trump flags? Honestly, I don't even think that people that were false flagging would have some of those flags. I mean, what would you... What percentage of it would you think?
So I believe that there were definitely extremists there that day, for sure. I believe there was extreme conservatives. There was also people that were not conservatives that were there that day.
Well, of course, there were journalists.
Yeah, no,
People...
extremists. I'm saying journalists. Extremists. Yeah. So, it's kind of hard to say. Do I believe that majority of the people there were Trump supporters? Absolutely, for sure.
Well, then
now, I don't know the exact number.
All right.
I don't know.
We're on the same page.
But I feel like a lot of people were also kind of like, wound up and upset about what happened with the whole election process. And...
Oh, so wait, hold on. So what happened with the election process? What do you think?
Well, a lot of people, were on the right, almost, they believe that the actual election wasn't legit. It was kind of rigged, they feel. And there was a lot of people just upset about the whole situation.
What do you think?
A lot of it did not line up. I mean... Listen, I'm not a conspiracist by any means whatsoever.
Okay.
But I do feel like things could have happened in the election. I don't believe that any election is legit.
You're being pretty vague there.
Well, I don't believe that anything's legit because I do believe that the government does hide a lot of things, and I believe that there's stuff that happens in the background that we never see. So
okay, but even that is even more vague.
I mean, I'll give you an example of something, right? The same thing happened when Al Gore won. So when George Bush won the election in 2001. And there were people on the left that felt the same way that the election was rigged. They were saying that nothing...
Oh, but everyone who loses...
Right.
Losers cry that it's rigged,
right.
It's unfair,
right.
And that's been...
But it happens from both extremes. It comes from both angles.
Yeah.
So...
It's not extreme. Even people that lose basketball games
picture
like,
20...
right. Cheaters,
but,
blah, blah, blah.
But picture 20 years later that, now it was a Republican candidate that lost to a Democrat. So, obviously, people get upset by the outcome, and some people wanted to challenge that outcome.
Okay, so I think that there's a parallel to be drawn here between the two things of how many people at the Capitol were secret Antifa and voter fraud.
We don't know.
No, but I think that it's a lot. I think that it's not zero, but I think that it's not enough that you could claim with complete certainty that the election has been stolen.
Do I believe people were... pissed? Yeah. There were people that stormed the Capitol Trump supporters? Absolutely. There were some. But we were never going to know the exact amount. And because, that's the way the pieces fall,
But here's the thing. We're never going to know the exact
amount.
We're not. 100%. That's true.
But was it right or wrong? I don't think it was right what they did.
But it's literally like saying that, how there's a certain amount of rat shit that ends up in cornflakes? No. Bear with me here. It's like saying that legally we have to call cornflakes rat shit with a side of cornflakes.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, no, they were mostly Trump supporters.
They were.
Trump, and they were mostly QAnon. Well, not mostly QAnon because there's only a certain amount.
They were a decent amount.
But they were there for that.
They were.
Okay? And that there was a couple of Antifa or false flaggers trying to rile things up. It's the same thing as saying, looking at some of these BLM protests. I've seen videos of police officers breaking the windows of cars. Like, just to show, now... Do I think all of the police are doing that? No, I think that there's a certain amount of crooked cops. And
I agree 100% on that one.
So and I don't just say, oh, well, they all must be like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's the same thing. Like, if you take a large enough sample size, you're going to have variation. You're going to have a little bit of it. Now, my problem is that there are legitimately people that are on the extreme out there whose political opinion it is that was Antifa. That stormed the Capitol. It was Antifa.
I don't think it was all Antifa.
Oh, no. I know you don't.
No, I don't.
Well, we got to the bottom there.
I'm conservative, but
legitimately, that's what they believe. And it's literally like...
No.
It's just a separation of reality because it can't be. This couldn't be our people, so it won't. And you know what?
I mean, there were decent people that were peacefully there, peacefully voicing their opinion. peacefully protesting, right? But then, like any extreme, there's going to be people that going to take it to the next level. Do I agree with what happened that day was the right move? Absolutely not. I think there could have been.
Now let me ask you this.
Sure.
What do you think about Trump's statements? Did you listen to the whole speech? Do you think that he is at any point guilty for inciting what happened? What do you think that he? Let's go even deeper than that. Do you think that he planned in some way for something terrible to happen there? Do you think he planned for, and do you think he thought that maybe this would somehow overthrow it so he'd be president again? Or do you think his ego needed it?
A little bit of everything, actually, believe it or not.
A little bit of both.
Yeah, I mean...
Like a wait and see.
I mean, it's like receiving a text message from a friend, for example. Like, you can write a text a certain way, but the way you emphasize certain characters in the sentence or the way you write it. I mean, the way he kind of approached it, in my opinion, it could have incited a little bit. People to uprise and to get pissed off and storm that Capitol.
So you think he listened to the speech,
yes,
though, right?
words.
Okay.
My point is that words are very, very powerful,
Yeah.
and people interpret words and sentences very, very differently.
Okay.
So, yeah, it could have provoked some people from taking it to the next level, to the extreme. But I don't think extreme is always the right way to handle things.
Okay.
I think anything that's extreme can get out of control, and extreme's not good in general. That's just the way I feel.
All right, but my question was: do you think that he knew what he was doing? Like, do you think he intentionally caused, okay, is he guilty of inciting that riot? It was a riot.
I'm not too sure. I think.
You think he's guilty of inciting a riot?
I don't think he's really guilty. Personally, no. I didn't. The way I interpreted his speech, and what I heard. Listen, the way I am as a person is that I don't like to necessarily take or express myself through violence. That's just not who I am. Mm-hmm. So to me, it depends on the person, Tom, like anybody else. I can say something to you could piss you off. I can say the same sentence to somebody else, and it won't piss them off. Yeah. Maybe his words did spark something that day. I don't know. But for me personally, it didn't strike me as he was trying to, have people storm the Capitol. That to me is just a little extreme.
All right.
Personally.
Well, look, I'll tell you this.
What's your thoughts?
Personally, I think it looked to me like he's giving the speech there.
Right.
He's riling them all up.
Right.
I think that he knew what he was doing. I don't know if he knew that it was going to get that out of hand.
I agree with you on that.
Now, unless there's evidence that he had, because there are stories of police officers that kind of let people in.
Yes.
Also, they were grossly understaffed.
They were.
Now, I don't like people making racial equivalencies because I just think they're very different. However, if that was a BLM protest marching down that avenue, I feel like they would have been a little better prepared guarding the fucking Capitol. You know what I mean? It's the Capitol. The fact that there was a breach bothers the shit out of me. The fact that, and it's not even because, it was QAnon or whatever, or it was conservatives.
Yeah.
Nobody should get onto the Capitol lawn.
Correct.
And I think to myself, and I feel the same way, I felt more like it should have been aggressively. The fact that one person was shot, the second you step on that Capitol ground,
you should have been shot.
You should have been shot.
Correct.
You're rushing.
Right.
And I'm like this with the police officers too. You rush a police officer, you reach for his gun.
Yeah.
He has the right to defend his life.
That's what they're taught. That's taught in the academy, actually.
Well, don't even get me started.
Well, we know.
In that. Let's talk about what they're taught, okay? Because I have something to say about that too.
Right.
But however, I feel that the second your protest becomes a riot and you break into this is hallowed ground. It is. They're literally about to elect the next, and you're literally trying to overthrow the government. That's what that is. That's what that is. I mean, no one said you are now. What's the word? Treason. That's treason. I mean, literally, people are hung and killed for treason. And I feel like that. The fact that those officers were able to hold back and not. And listen, if you don't believe me, don't take it from me. Take it from the actual cops that were holding that hallway. I mean, there's interviews where they discuss exactly what happened, and their thought process of how many bullets do I have, how many people can I take out before they get my gun and my ammo, and they turn on my fellow, and they literally, it was pretty crazy. To me, that was treason, and I don't care if it's QAnon people or if it's. Or if it's a BLM protest.
It's a federal building,
Listen, you don't have the right to rush the White House without losing your life.
Correct.
Now, granted, if there's one person and there's something wrong with you, if you could subdue somebody without ending their life right off the bat, by all means.
Yeah,
that's what they're,
No, I do.
So, but but other than that, like, yeah, I think when Trump made that speech, he knows how to stir the shit pot.
He's good at that. No, he is. I do agree.
And the issue is he's immune to licking the spoon. After the shit pot is.
But some people took the bait, though. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but he knew.
But
I'm
saying the way he worded it, some people took the bait. Me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Well, I'll give him credit. He's a master at that. He knows how to fucking get people going, how to stir this shit up.
Yeah, well.
And look, he gave the speech across the way. He said, "We're gonna march down there. He wanted to cause problems about it, and. Now if there is a conspiracy that there was something arranged behind the scenes or whatever, like that's, I don't have any evidence of that. I think maybe they just were caught off guard, or maybe they weren't as inclined to defend the Capitol. Maybe there were sympathizers amongst the people that were defending it. But just like anything else, there's a video online somewhere, I guess, of the protesters, and there's people like waving out the window, whatever, and then all of a sudden a brick goes through the window, and it's like, whoa, we're on your side, we're on your side. They yell out the window, we're on your side, and they're throwing bricks. It's simple. Everything looks like a window when you're holding a brick. Like it's not about that. You just want to, and sometimes you rile this crowd out and you go, you're not in control of it. It's a fucking riot. That's it.
Yeah.
They're going to break shit. And it's the same with, people in sporting events. They destroy their own city. They're happy.
Extra wins, right?
They're
losses,
they're in a state of bliss. They're happy. Their sport team finally won, so they're destroying their neighborhood over it.
That makes no sense, though. But yeah,
but see, it makes no sense. But it's human nature because it happens time and time again.
Yeah.
So I think that if he knew he was riling them up and he was starting it and he aimed it right at the fucking Capitol. But again, very hard to prove. I don't think you're going to be able to.
You're not.
And, but, I feel like I would know better. I feel like you would know better.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I was always taught never to, fight with your mouth, not with your hands. Like that's just the way I was brought up.
So your mother taught you not to start a riot on Capitol Hill and aim all your supporters at it. Well, that's good. That's good teaching right there.
Mom taught me well.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, she's good. All
right. Well, what else? I guess I put a pin in the policing thing. We can go into that.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I don't know if we have a difference of opinion in that.
Well, what's your views on that? What's your take on policing and stuff like that?
The Chauvin thing or whatever.
Yeah, we can talk about that if you like.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm a fat sack of shit right now, but I did train jiu-jitsu for a while.
Yeah,
I trained with people that I respected that were excellent fighters. I mean, excellent. And I have such an appreciation for Brazilian jiu-jitsu and just how, and I think it was what's his name, Andrew Yang, right? He believed that every police officer should make at least blue belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and I got to tell you, I agree with that.
Yeah.
There was on the Sam Harris podcast actually a study done on this, where they trained a bunch of rookie police officers Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu before they graduated from the academy. So they went out there, trained in submission wrestling, and so it's pretty much you give officers tools to do what they have to do, to protect themselves, to protect others, and to protect and serve. And you give them their mace, you give them their tasers, you give them their gun. Having Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as another one of their tools, making that their go-to tool, it is literally, a way to subjugate, control a suspect or a criminal, without harming them, without hurting them.
Okay. And
it has the added bonus of giving you the confidence. That's what it really is. It's the confidence of knowing, my heart, every time you grapple, every time you have a match, it teaches you to control that adrenaline. That's what you're really learning. To not freak out, to not whatever. You're not going to keep reaching for the gun, it's kind of what they teach you is that I'm not afraid of this person. This person might be twice my size, but unless they are a world-renowned grappler, I'm almost a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to control the situation. If he shoots to take me down, I'm going to sprawl. I'm going to take the back. I'm going to control. Whatever. I think that it's what I see so many times in a lot of these incidents is untrained. Listen, if they're not trying to intentionally murder the suspect, like the Eric Garner case where that gentleman choked the shit out of him for several minutes and he's saying I can't breathe how many times or whatever, You didn't know to release the choke. You didn't
Right.
know to turn him onto his side.
Yeah,
you
that's
didn't
extreme.
You didn't do anything right. And a little bit of the problem is not the police officer's fault. The problem is how much training they're given.
Right, with training.
There's none.
I know, but that comes at a price too. But now people want to fund the police, so what's your views on that?
They
then?
have 2 hours of training, I believe. See, I don't want to get these quotes wrong. This is why.
I remember having this conversation with you. You were telling me that cops have no training when it comes to using guns or enforce.
Oh no!
But,
guns they do.
Right,
Guns they do.
But you're saying that
guns they do.
But you're saying something along the lines. This is back in the day. We spoke about this one time.
This is the problem.
The people who actually cut hair, it's like 500 to 1,000 hours of training.
Oh yeah.
But then people who are trained to use a gun, it's like 1/3 the time. You said something along those lines.
It's okay. So, well, we're both spewing bullshit statistics.
Right,
here, but your point is correct.
It's like
there's an analogy to be made that
correct
to cut hair. Yes.
X amount of hours versus training on a gun.
I have to ask my sister on that, but yes, there's a certain amount of hours.
Exactly.
Just like any other license, there's certain amount of contact hours or whatever, yes. However, when it comes to, what is it called? Arresting, or when you have to subdue the criminal.
Right.
Or they have something like 2 hours every 2 years, something along the lines.
Yeah, it's kind of low considering what
and only a half of the hour is the physical aspect of it. So now here's the other thing. New York, God bless New York. I mean, they're fucking done. They're so stupid. I mean, they think so. They see these cops and that are on these guys' backs and they can't breathe, and so their answer is, well, you can't put any weight on them. That's their answer. Fucking stupid. So now, listen. This is what they can do now. This is what the cops can do. They can grab them, and they can punch them in the face as hard as they want.
Right.
But they can't get them onto the. You know what? What you're going to do when you limit an officer's ability to
they can't do the job properly.
So to use jiu-jitsu or subdue a person the correct way, they're going to reach for their club, they're going to reach for their gun, they're going to reach for their mace. I mean, well, the mace is okay, but anything else, you're actually increasing the likelihood that there's going to be an injury or that the officer himself is. I mean, it is unbelievable, and I'm telling you, there's a study out there where the statistics prove this. They prove that if you're able, if an officer is properly trained in close quarter combat, like the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whatever, they're able to. That's a tool they go to before they have to go lethal. And not just that, they train you. They're specifically tailored, just like anything else, tailored for police officers to protect their right side, to protect their hip, to protect where they carry their gun, or if they carry it on their left or whatever, so that you don't have to worry about the suspect. Because if you don't have any training, the second you're in a scuffle, it's a life or death situation. He's going to get your gun. He's going to end your life. So you have to grab your gun first because you're going home to your kids. You're going home to your wife. You've seen enough videos, and this is, I mean.
So what's your thought when a criminal, goes to their pocket to pull out a gun or a knife? I mean, what draws the line from the actual cop pulling out his weapon?
If most of the time, I've seen
it's
certain
seconds.
Things, most of the time,
it's seconds sometimes.
If a cop says, show me your hands. Don't reach for anything. Don't reach for anything. Show me your hands, whatever. And then you see the guy reach behind, you forfeited your life. And I don't care if the guy was reaching for a while or whatever.
I agree.
I mean, that's it.
I agree with you 100%.
100%. He's if you have a gun on you and your first reaction is not to put your hands up or get down on the ground or whatever. 100% because there's too many people that reach back and they produce a weapon
pull
and
a knife, a gun, right?
Yep, and that's understandable. And even and it's there's one caveat with that. Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, you got
okay.
Jeez, I'm sorry.
Are we good there?
Oh my God!
We got a technical difficulty.
Too much of these Moscow mules, courtesy of Djskam. Thank you. As you were saying, Thomas.
Where was it? There was one caveat to that, and this, it's that let's say officer's called to the scene of a man with a knife or whatever. And he's got autism, or he's had a really bad week and he is bipolar.
Yeah.
Okay. And the voices of God are telling him to go outside and put the knife up in the air, and you're not responding to verbal, and this is where I don't necessarily have an answer, but I see this happen all the time. And this is another problem that the police unfortunately have to face, and I don't have an answer. They are overburdened with jobs that shouldn't be their fault. Yeah. I mean, it should maybe be like, shouldn't it be some type of trained mental clinician, but then again, they show up and the guy goes and stabs them.
Exactly.
I don't have an answer for it. I really don't. But I know that they are asked they're asked and tasked to
Yeah.
do a lot more than they should
To be a
asked.
psychiatrist, to be a fucking, to be like a protector of the law, to protect
isn't-
people. It's like, what? How much more can you ask for that
Yeah.
proper training, like you were saying?
And then
Training is key, like anything else.
People want to get suicide by cop. They want to be shot. They reach for the gun on purpose. And
Yeah.
I've seen videos both ways. I've seen videos of a cop easily putting down someone reaching for something, and then I've seen a cop, and this is almost where, unfortunately, they probably lost their job over it because they didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And the cop screaming, "I don't want to kill you. Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this." Because he doesn't imagine the stress. How you got to go to sleep every night. You got to go home to your wife and kids. And you killed someone or whatever. That's fucking terrible.
It's like making life decisions in seconds. That's stressful, man.
Look,
that's
I just it's balanced out to me. I have a clear understanding of how difficult the job must be, how much we ask of them, and I try to be as fair as possible. But I also feel I have the right to criticize a little bit. And listen, there is a little bit of Monday morning quarterbacking going on. Like, well, if I was there, every man, I do a jumping side kick with a roundhouse, and I take him right down to the ground, secure the scene. I'm like fucking what's his face from Always Sunny. I did a ocular pat down, and I knew right away that he wasn't holding a gun.
It's funny you say that because I was at a friend's house a year ago, and he's a big collector of guns. And he goes, "Have you ever used a gun before?" I go, "No, I never used a gun." And I'm like, "Can I try it out?" And he goes, "Yeah, sure." So I went to his backyard, went to his his range, and I shot a gun for the first time. Okay. And like you were saying, you think it's so easy shooting somebody, let's say, in the leg versus their chest.
You're gonna miss.
Sometimes you miss. And you know what? I didn't realize the amount of power that's behind an actual gun.
Depends on the caliber
right,
of the gun.
exactly. But you're saying oh, if I was in that situation, I would have shot for the leg. I would have shot for this part of the body.
You shoot for the leg and you miss.
Right. Things happen. It's not that easy. So I agree with you. People do need more training with guns and de-escalate in certain situations.
They teach
it's not
multiple
easy,
rounds, center mass. You have to you stop because you're gonna miss. And
right.
I get it. But then the problem happens where there's multiple cops there and all the weapons are drawn.
Right.
What is it? The Amadou Diallo thing? The guy reaches for his wallet, doesn't speak English, doesn't understand what's going on, and it was 163 rounds, or something like that.
That's extreme.
It was something.
Yeah,
crazy.
no, that's extreme.
That's a little bit
if it was too.
But here's the thing: it's almost comical. I mean, and when I say that, I mean that it's almost funny how fucking wrong it is.
It's so wrong.
Literally, it's
both sides of the political spectrum would say it's wrong.
It's like
it's fucked up, man.
What is it? Like the South Park episode where, the way they go hunting is they say the animal it's coming right for us, blah 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 blah.
Using machine gun to kill a fucking bunny. It's I get it. I agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah. Well. I don't know. Okay, what's next on the agenda to discuss then? We just solved both things there. We put Trump in his place, and we solved police brutality.
Somewhat.
What else? Oh, finances.
Yeah, that's a great topic.
Let's talk about finances. You're big into finances.
Huge.
So I'm doing pretty well. I just I think I told you this already, but we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I increased my my contributions to my 457 to 10%.
That's awesome.
So I'm feeling like a big boy now.
You are a big boy.
I am. I'm a big boy. I make potties all by myself.
You do.
I told my dad about this, and he was like, "Oh, I wish I was doing 10%. I only did this amount per paycheck. We should make it a percentage or whatever." And I was like, "Yeah." That's
always
what
good
I'm
to
doing
say
now.
for the
So I'm gonna
future.
try to keep it like that. But also working the vaccine site. I think we did 800 vaccines on Memorial Day.
Impressive.
The most we've done is 2,000. And I have a special announcement to make right now. Dave doesn't know this, but where he sat down, he's vaccinated. I vaccinated him without his consent.
Yes, he did.
So Dave, tell me, why is it you don't want to be vaccinated? What's the deal?
It's still too new.
It's too new.
Still too new, in my opinion. Yeah. I like to see numbers. I like to see, a study done over an extended period of time. It's been 40 years and they have not been able to find a cure for the common cold. We still have a cure for cancer. It's like you have a cure for this virus. So it's still too new to me. I respect people who got it, but just not for me.
But there is, while we still get common colds, there's
variants.
The common cold is a coronavirus.
It is.
Okay.
But there's variants of that as well.
But there are people that are better equipped to deal with common colds.
That's true.
And there are people that are better equipped with influenza.
That's true.
We do have technology that
It's true too.
But
I also have underlying health conditions as well. So I don't want to.
Which would make me be more of a reason for you to have one, right? Wouldn't it be?
Not necessarily. I mean, if it.
Well, how do you think you're going to fare?
If it adverses the wrong way with me, then I'm a dead man walking, basically, because. Listen, some people got really bad reactions to the virus, and to the actual vaccination. Some people did not.
You gotta understand it. So I do have a little bit of an insider information on this. I work at a vaccine site.
Okay.
Okay, and I put in many hours a week, and I'm not a medical professional.
Okay.
Okay, I just look as handsome and sexy as a doctor. Okay.
Okay.
I just play doctor. Okay.
We know. Okay.
No, but I do see, they do call the medical teams over when there's reactions and stuff.
Yeah.
No one's ever went into anaphylactic shock and dropped out of their car and died right away. There have been people.
There have been deaths from this.
Though.
There have people who died from the vaccinations. There have been.
There's 6 Moderna, and they were blood clots. They were hematomas, I believe.
Actually, over 6,000 people died from the vaccinations.
No, 6.
No, I'm saying overall, there've been 6,000 deaths plus because of the vaccination.
Wait, 6,000 deaths directly related to the vaccinations.
Correct.
All right. So
search it online.
So, Jamie, look that up. Hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, pull it up.
Okay. Due to the coronavirus, you're saying?
Due to the coronavirus.
How many...
I'm not saying I'm an anti-vaxxer. I'm just saying that,
No, I don't think you are.
No, I'm not.
I'm not saying that.
I think you are.
Okay. How many deaths are directly related to the COVID-19 vaccination? All right, let's see. It says, Dave is a fucking idiot and does not know what he's talking about.
No, I do know what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. Let me see. Selective adverse events. Fact check. What does this say? Fact check. VAERS data does not prove thousands died from COVID. Fact check. Misleading claim about deaths of fully vaccinated people. Have thousands died from COVID-19 vaccine? Claim. Dave, it sounds like you might have read a false article. I'm literally one after the next. All right, so let me ask you this. I'm trying to prove a negative. Do you have any evidence that thousands of people have died so far from the... Because, listen, when you told me initially that you were worried about the long-term effects, you had me. That is a reasonable excuse.
Of course.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
But now if you're telling me that thousands have already died...
People have died from it, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, but where do I click on that? How do I... And you have to understand something. Half of all Americans have been vaccinated at this point.
50% have, yes.
Yes,
that's
50%.
True. That is true.
So, you think that you might be the one person in the how many millions that... You can keep looking. God, this is all right.
I have to find the article.
Okay. You have to find it later?
My friend sent me the article. I have the article. I'll send it to you. But, no, there have been a lot of deaths because of the virus. Well, because of the COVID-19 virus.
Okay, so there's right now 328.2 million people in the U.S., right?
Okay.
So we're looking at roughly 164 million people that have been vaccinated, something along the lines of that,
sure.
Right? If that statistic is true and half of us
Sure, why not?
So, isn't it pretty safe to say that the same amount of people die from aspirin? I mean, there were 5 or 6 people that had, from the Moderna, and they went ahead and pulled it. They went ahead and pulled it and figured it out and did this and that or whatever because there was only 5 people.
It was a week, though. They pulled it from a week, 7 days.
Here's the thing. How do you prove that that's what it is? It's such a small number of fucking...
It's 8 months. It took 8 months to make a vaccination. No long-term...
Oh, yeah,
but there's no long-term studies.
Of course, there's not. You're right.
Okay,
so you're going back to a point. Right, you're right.
But if this was 10 years...
You have me on this.
Sure.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't have...
I
need
substantial evidence.
But here's the thing.
If I'm talking about science, I need evidence. I need long-term evidence studies.
Here's the deal. This is where I don't envy you. You have a risk assessment to make.
I most certainly do.
And maybe you make your choice. That's fine. I'm not trying to talk you into it either way. But you have to choose between, do I take an experimental vaccine that half the country has taken, I throw in my lot with them, and I just take it and see what happens or whatever. Or do I take my risk with the COVID-19 disease, and if I get it, maybe I'm good, maybe I make it through, or maybe my previous complications.
I have a better chance of surviving the virus than me taking the vaccination.
But yeah, see
that's the way I look at things.
Have you ever gotten a flu vaccine?
No.
Okay. What about your all your other shit you got though, right? Growing up.
When
like
I was
MMR
growing
and all
up,
that
yes.
stuff? Okay.
Majority, I probably have majority of that stuff.
So that's good. You know, I mean, I'm
But-
grateful that I got all that shit
Also,
before my mom turned anti-vax because I'm
not anti-vax.
Yeah, yeah.
Furthest thing from it, but I believe, you know, I like to see substantial evidence behind what I'm putting in my body, and it's still, in my opinion, it's still too new for me. I'd rather take the risk of not, you know, getting the vaccination.
I don't have a rebuttal for that. Like it's a reasonable stance.
I mean, I respect you for I mean, I know you took it. I didn't take it, obviously, but.
Yeah. Well, you know I'm along with the other.
I have no,
country.
you know.
Hey, man, there'll be egg on my face if we all turn to fucking vampires in a couple months or whatever. But I doubt it. You know, I mean,
yeah.
Look, I got to tell you, and not just that. I feel like this RNA delivery system is like, I think it's like they're literally going to fight cancer with it and shit. I think it's the future. I think it looks very like. I look, it's pretty promising. Again, you know, don't listen to what I say because you gotta look it up. But
yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, yeah, it is a new technology, but they're like, you know, things get better and better. They get smarter and smarter. They figure shit out, you know? I mean,
yeah.
The fact that they could deliver the information directly to the cell without having to inject your body with the inactive virus, like, that's fucking awesome.
I have my thoughts about that.
What did that
well,
talk to me about?
It's not even that. Like, you talking about cancer and stuff like that. I don't think there'll ever be a cure for cancer, personally. I think that Big Pharma is a business, like I was telling you the other day on the phone. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, I feel it's all about making money.
But listen, no, I think that, okay, so I understand that, and it's true. Listen,
yeah.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is there's planned obsolescence. Like, they make things to, the money is in the treatment, not the
right.
cure.
It's always an need. It's always an need, and there's always a dollar amount behind the need.
As long as you're living in a capitalist society, that's what they're going to do.
Right.
They got to get you getting.
That's just nature of it.
Or they could just make listen, they're never going to run out of people getting cancer.
That's true.
So
but if there's a cure for it, there's a cure for it. You know, it's less people in the hospital, less treatment, less.
What is it worth? Think about it.
They don't give a fuck.
The cure for cancer is literally worth every dollar you have.
It is.
You don't think about it. You don't take it with you. So the Big Pharma knows that they could literally hold you over a barrel to take every fucking dollar.
But they can do whatever they want, Big Pharma.
Because if it's
they're protected.
Otherwise you just.
Yeah, they're protected.
And that's another good point about the vaccine.
Yeah.
That they're literally let off the hook for any liabilities. The government's like, bang them out. We're going to stick them in these people.
I mean, I hope nothing happens. I hope there's no side effects. I hope there's no long-term side effects. You know, but it's a gamble. Let's listen. Like, I'm not a risk taker when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping to God that I take care of myself and nothing happens to me.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can hope for and wish for at this point.
Well,
you know,
dude, you know, I just I hope that's the case too.
Yeah.
To me, it was a no-brainer. Like, you know, the vaccine. Like, I'm not, especially feeling safe enough because it's been months and months. People have gotten it.
Yeah.
They say you got to wait another 6 months. You got to get a booster. You got to get it again or whatever. But like,
how many boosters are you gonna have though? That's the question. Is it every year you have a booster?
Well, until the virus isn't. You know, listen. My coworker, his wife just passed from it. Like, it still does. Take people out, like, it's still, of course. And the thing is sometimes it's scary.
It is.
It's like, listen, it's one thing if like, oh, you had the flu and you're sure. It's like literally you get it and you just deteriorate and then you go to the hospital and you just don't come back, and it fucking happens and it's happening. You know, listen, in the initial part of it, in the first part of it, it was really bad. It was bad.
Oh yeah, great.
All right, and
I mean, it was scary. I was scared.
It's gotten better for sure, but I'm still seeing cases where, like, really sad things where, you know, and it's. But like, look, we're at the light at the end of the tunnel, which is awesome. Like, you know, we're in the local beer distributor, no one's wearing masks anymore. You know, now hopefully that's because we're all vaccinated, but only some of them there. But you know, the supermarkets and stuff. There was, you know, what was really nice to see is that we were all wearing masks. There was this old lady, she was like 90-something years old, no mask, just walking around like. Now, I don't know.
She's doing her thing.
I don't know if it was literally like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like, you know, like whatever. Like, or if it was like, you know, she's vaccinated or whatever, or she's just like, I don't breathe with us. Or maybe, yeah, she struggles breathing and everyone else wears masks and she feels safe because she's the one that doesn't have to wear it. Maybe it's like a herd immunity.
Or maybe she's worried that, you know, if she takes the vaccination, she might get sick from it. Who knows? You never know. Dude, people. I'm saying people have different rationale for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, look at things too. It's like this. Like, maybe you don't agree with me with this, but I feel like if it's your time to go, like, God has, you know, a set date for when we leave this earth.
Can you ask him when mine is? I just want to know. Like, is it
I don't know.
Up, or?
I hope you live to 100. I'd love to spend another, 60 years with you.
I hope I live healthily to 100.
I hope so too.
I don't want to be like mush in my brain, fucking someone wiping my ass. Or whatever.
I'd wipe your ass.
Would you?
And I'd walk you around town.
Would you do that tonight?
I'll give you a fucking ice cream too if you want it. With whipped cream and sprinkles.
If you do it tonight for me.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
as long as Angel sleeps in my car.
Okay.
Great.
She can't be here. You gotta.
All right, good.
Yeah, we get the bed.
That's
you wipe
better.
my asshole.
That's right.
Okay. We're gonna send the cats out.
I'm
there.
about a color anyway, so it doesn't make a difference.
All right. So yeah. I hear that. All right. So I don't know. There's just
it's just a touchy topic. It's a touchy topic, you know. I mean, like.
I get why people are scared of it and stuff, you know. Like I wish, you know, and for selfish reasons, I wish some of my friends like Brian and Megan would get it so they could fucking come hang out.
Yeah.
You know.
Come hang.
Yeah. They got the best excuse ever. To
I mean, Tom makes a fucking amazing steak and you know corn and garlic bread. I mean, you're like a king today.
It's just the excuse. They're gonna see this hopefully when we.
Yeah.
It's the excuse like, oh guys, I was gonna leave my house.
Yeah,
today,
no.
But, the coronavirus is still out there.
Just get in the car, man. Just hit
shit.
the auto start. Hit the auto start and drive out to Babylon.
I was gonna come out there. I was gonna hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the virus.
Snooze, you lose, right?
No, they got.
no.
Yeah, they got real reasons to,
Yeah, I know.
to contemplate it and stuff.
It's
but
unfortunate,
just
you know.
busting his balls. But you.
I wanted to see you. I don't give a fuck if you give me corona.
Yeah, but it bothers me. You know, it bothers me that people because, okay, it is a risk, but I think it's a valid risk for people with health complications, and I have not just you, but family members. I'm not going to throw them under the bus now, but I have like those family members that have breathing issues or obese, overweight, or and they're like the same thing. Well, I'll wait and see, and it's like. What a shitty fucking way to go. Can you imagine you didn't get it and you're just like, and it's taking you out. Now you can't. Once you get it, now you can't get the vaccination.
Yeah, but you can't predict.
Let me tell you, let's tie this back to fucking Trump.
Here we go.
Dude, no, but do you know that most of his supporters that are QAnon anti-vax, and yes, I'm going to put those loonies in the same basket.
Some of them are.
Trump was vaccinated in January.
He was.
Yes, he was.
I know.
And if he just came out and said the truth, and he was like, look, I got, they came in, they gave me the vaccine, I got it early, I got it ahead of time because I'm the president of the United States and they have to protect me, and it's, that's, and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling better and now I'm fully back at it. And he shows his image of me. Like, that would be awesome, but of course he doesn't. And of course, and I guarantee you that his followers that are like on the deep end there, they don't believe it if you would tell them. Unless they heard it from his own mouth. Yeah. Like you could tell them, no, Trump was vaccinated. No, he wasn't. Yeah, like, no, it's true, he was.
He was. So was his wife.
Yeah.
So was Melania back in January.
Listen, wait, first off, I might not be a fan, but he's the president. He was the president of the United States at the time. Yeah. You gotta fucking vaccinate him. You gotta support him. You know, I mean, that's it. You have to stay alive. You get killed. It could be. It makes the rest of the world. There's all types of problems with that. You got to remain leader. You got to there's stuff to that. I get that, but to me, it's just so fucked up that they kept it quiet. Set an example. Show the rest of the world that it's safe. Can you imagine how far along we'd be if Trump, the leader, got vaccinated and led the way to all these, whatever.
I don't know.
Really bothers me.
That's No, I get where you're coming from, but luckily I did my homework with that one. I read up about that back in January. But
wait, you knew about it in January? Because for me, I thought it came out way after that.
Well, I knew he died back in January, but by reading the articles like you were saying, I did find out he did, but most people don't know that. Unfortunately, it's crazy.
They don't know it. They don't want to believe it, or they just like anything else. They think it's misinformation from
It's selective.
Antifa.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's Antifa. I mean,
Yeah, but I wouldn't say it was Antifa at the Capitol either.
No,
people do. They literally the mental gymnastics it takes to be able to deny certain things in these situations is ridiculous.
But not for nothing too. I think we had a lot of false news from different media sources.
False news. Oh, interesting. What's false news? Is that like fake news? Fake news.
I wouldn't say it's fake news. I think people like to listen to everything they listen to on the news and they believe it, but people don't want to do their actual homework and look into things and get actual facts. I think people are very, very naive in a lot of ways. There's certain people that do their homework and some people that don't do their homework.
The war on facts is, alternative facts or whatever. That was back.
And it does bend. It does bend by the political affiliation that you're part of as well.
But see, it
does.
That's what I don't understand.
Well, let's be real about it. It does.
We live in a world now where it's literally like you can believe what you want. It's like choose your own adventure when it comes to facts. it becomes impossible to, like to really get to the bottom of certain things, because what happens is you show someone your source and you say, look, I look from these 2 different places,
Right.
and they're like, oh, well, that's biased. That's, Now listen, I'm not saying that there aren't biased sources,
I agree
because
with you.
there are scientists that are like paid on the dole to come up with certain results
Right.
for political, and that is, that is fucked up. But like, it's pretty much like you get to choose to believe whatever you want, because when people are presented with information that doesn't jive with what they want to believe, with their confirmation,
Well, that's why you got to really look
believe
into
what
it. That's why you really have to look into it and do your research and look at different sources and see what's the common theme amongst the news. I mean, I don't believe everything that's presented in right-wing media.
Yeah.
I like to look at different sources and see.
Here's the deal. Here's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Give me, when you say right-wing media, give me a piece of right-wing media that you consume. Name one.
Okay, I mean, I watch Newsmax, I watch Fox News.
Okay, so so Fox News.
Yeah.
You know that name isn't technically correct. They're an entertainment channel.
Of course. So is CNN.
Do you want to?
So is MSNBC.
Yeah, but do you want to
So
know?
is ABC.
Do you want to know why they're entertainment channels?
Why the entertainment channel?
Because if they named themselves news channels, they'd have to tell the truth. That's literally why they're not news channels, because you have to tell the truth as a news source.
So where do you get your source from?
Well, personally, multiple areas. I read most of my articles on Reddit, but Reddit links to,
There's always layers and layers and layers.
Places.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There are like when it comes to I think The Hill is kind of pretty fair when it comes to politics and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What's the other one? There's one. I'm going to draw a blank,
Reuters.
but
Reuters. You look at.
Yeah.
Reuters.
Some of those, but I will also listen with all. I'll absolutely read the bias shit, knowing it's biased.
How about the New York Times? Read the New York Times, or you consider that biased?
It's pretty biased.
It's pretty fucking biased.
Yeah,
Washington Post, pretty biased.
Yeah, but again,
but
here's the deal. Just like it's entertainment, but just like anything else, you read something and there's pieces of truth in it. So you got to do your due diligence and pieces.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if they're reporting on a riot that happened, that the riot, and they say that that it actually happened or whatever, and the quotes have to be real, right? But maybe hold on, you didn't get the other part.
Peel back the layers and layers.
You didn't hear how it started.
Right.
So they show it's no different. Like let's say a news media shows you like a police shooting, but they don't show you the part where the guy,
right.
You shot 10 people first and then reached for a gun.
Right. It's like heavy editing. Yeah. It's like anything else.
Yeah. So you get misled.
It's like the game when you're a kid, right? Like I'll tell you something, I'll read a line up to you, then read up to the next person. Right, telephone, right? Telephone. And by the last person, the news is different. It's kind of like that in a way. Things can be interpreted different as it passes through layers and sources.
Well, I don't know if that's the best analogy.
It's not really the best analogy, but it's kind of
like directly like no, we have a financial interest to our owners to spin things the way they wanted us to.
Right.
And not just that. It's also, the day we stopped paying to consume the news, like in other words, you want. The days of Walter Cronkite are over. I miss like a person who, it was like their job to stay neutral, to just report the facts, to not care about getting involved in this and that. They did, they just tonight on the news, it is come to our news attention. It was just strict and old school and to the point, and not and now it's
there's too many outlets, there's too many sources.
It's everything is because you're literally in the real estate of people's attention.
Correct.
And it's what will murder you under your draw? Tone in tonight at 10.
It was like the last. I'm not saying this is from one side, but I'm saying the last. For example, the last 4 years on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still have your Facebook. I know you don't use it as much as me.
Yeah, I deleted the app from my phone.
Right. Okay. But the amount of political bullshit that we saw over the last 4 years, 8 years, 10 years, whatever it may be, right? You see these things, and people believe everything they see on Facebook, or people start a YouTube channel and they believe every bit of information that's presented on a YouTube channel. People don't want to look like me and you. We're more into we investigate, we look into things, we want to know why. But even though I was telling you, I'm definitely more of a conservative, more of a Republican. I like to get different facts from different sources, and then basically.
If I didn't think
what makes sense to me, it makes sense to me is what I normally do.
If I didn't think you were open-minded, and I didn't think that you were If I thought you were very biased and like didn't want to think about things, I wouldn't be discussing this with you right here and there.
Yeah.
Like
Totally.
I don't, I respect your opinion
Same
and your
here.
viewpoint, and
Same here.
I discussed it about you. And if anything, I might talk to you. I know it's not falling on deaf ears. I know maybe you hear, you might end up changing your mind, hearing certain facts.
Yeah, but I want to hear the facts.
But the deal is like that's that's the right way to be. You don't, like it's not. Here's the problem: it's identity politics, and it's like you're part of a sports team, like you're Team Republican, and any of those people that have that are out there drinking the Kool-Aid, like they're waving their Trump flags, their faces are painted like they're at a fucking they're at a sporting event. And they're like, "This is our team, yeah, go Trump. He's the savior." Or it's even religious, It goes like that's a little bit like, no, he's a politician, and just like all the politicians, they're a dirty diaper. When they're done, you change them, you throw them in the trash, and you elect someone.
We all have our shit, as I say,
like this is the type of thing where, and listen. What is it, Lord Acton, I think, right? Power corrupts, absolute power corrupts, absolutely, right? You get enough power, and these politicians are in bed with each other and this and that. Like, there should be term limits on these assholes.
Absolutely.
You listen, you
especially
serve
the
the
Senate
people.
and the House.
You serve at the leisure of the people, and when you're done, they get rid of you. That's it. You go home. That's it. And they pick someone else. Being a politician should be like fucking jury duty. I'm trying to get out of it. But you shouldn't want to be a politician. It should be like, listen,
there's incentives for them. That's the reason why they stay in power.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
and there's lobbyists.
Shouldn't be that attractive,
it's like
lobbyists. Forget about that. They should be hung outside the Capitol.
Absolutely.
We should string them up.
That's
the fact that But look, this all stems from certain conservative, like the fucking Citizens United, like that. That ruling that said that money is speech, money is free speech. No, money is not free speech. Money is not equal. People don't have the same amount, and therefore, in theory, if money equals speech, that means that certain people have more free speech than others.
I think money is just a tool. That's the way I view money personally. I don't know how you feel about that, but for me, money is a tool. That's all it is. That's all it is. That's all it should be meant to be. Money can get you certain places in life, but money should be used as a tool and a resource. That's why I view money.
Well, it can be used as a lot of things.
I understand that, but that's the principle of money. People.
Well,
but people make money an idol. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying? And money consumes people. Money's not the end all. You know what I'm saying? To me, money's a tool and a resource. That's why I look at money. That's why I.
The thing is, it's easy to say that money doesn't buy happiness or money isn't everything.
It doesn't.
When you have enough of it. Like there are people. Listen, money might not buy happiness, but it
money
certainly buys fucking the comforts. You know what I mean? Like certain comforts.
But define comfort. What's comfort to you?
Well, I think comfort is your basic human needs like food, shelter, or even just a little bit more to be allowed to pursue the things that make you happy in life. That a certain amount of money, it's complete bullshit. That
it is bullshit.
There are people that literally, they don't have enough money to pay for their vaccines. And they're certain,
So if I offered you $5 million right now, or the love of your life, what would you select? What would you choose? What's more important to you? Relationships or money?
I'm going to watch this, so I can't.
We know it's
Of course, I take my answer. I love no. I'm kidding. No, listen, I get it. There's certain
relationship.
Wait, hold on. That's not, let's. So I understand what you're saying, and yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying that money is the most important thing.
It's not.
I am saying that it has become important enough that it equates a certain level of
resource.
Happiness.
It's a tool.
Now, there have been studies done, and I completely understand this, that the more you increase money into a person's life, yes, the happier they become to a point.
To a point.
And that point is something like $150,000 or something a year. Like, there is a point. Yeah. You got to look it up, man. I'm telling you. Once you can, because there becomes like a point where there's no difference. Like whether you have a regular sports car or a $10 million sports car, it's like the same thing. You have the sports car that you want. You know what I mean? Whether you have a McDonald's meal in your belly or whether you have an 8-star fucking whatever. So it becomes like as long as you're fed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a certain level where it does matter, but up to a point.
But fulfillment, though, I mean, I'm trying to get to the point of fulfillment. Like, what fulfills you? Like,
okay, so money might not buy fulfillment, but it buys the avenues to pursue it.
Sure, it's a resource. It's a tool.
Yeah, but in theory,
it is.
But then in theory, anything is a tool. Like, you could define anything as a tool.
All right, so money's a resource then.
It's true too.
Yeah, it is a resource.
I mean, I don't know how I necessarily define it. I'm not even trying to say you're wrong. I just, you never really thought of it, you know? Like
It's a resource.
I guess it's a resource.
I'd rather
can be used.
I'd rather die with amazing friends, amazing family, amazing children.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd rather die and have no money with that than to be a multimillionaire and to have nothing.
Dave, I got to tell you, happy to tell you, I'm going to set up direct deposits from your account to mine, so you don't have to worry about the money.
Again, it's a resource.
I'm going to take that
it's
resource.
A resource, bro.
It's a burden, what it is, Dave.
It's a resource.
And I'm going to take it off your hand. All right? All right? We're setting up right now. We're going to sign over.
How about I buy you a steak dinner and I'll give you a nice blowjob after this?
Okay.
All right.
That sounds good.
Okay.
That sounds good. Don't worry about the steak.
All right. Filet mignon, lover.
Filet mignon. We got some good filet mignon.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm parched. Hold on, me.
Okay. Looking a little, looking
What do
better
you think
now.
of my? What do you think of my Vigo, the Carpathian?
He's a good-looking guy.
So just so you guys know, over on my wall there, my poor girlfriend has to deal with this. I have Vigo the Carpathian from Ghostbusters. You know the painting of him all
He's
serious.
very
whatever.
manly, but not as manly as you, though.
He's got those evil eyes, you know. He's got those evil eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's a pink slime coming out of him.
Yeah.
His eyes follow you wherever you go.
Pretty demonic looking.
All right, we got enough time for one more topic, don't we, Dave?
Yeah. What do we talk about?
We're going to solve the problems in the Middle East.
You're right.
Okay. we're gonna do Jared Kushner's job right now.
We should do a topic on.
We're gonna do the Middle East, and then we're gonna solve the opioid epidemic.
Fuck that.
What else did Trump give him? Trump was like pretty
That's
much.
another topic. That's another day.
Trump gave him everything to do.
Let's talk about your favorite flavors of ice cream.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
All right.
Cookie dough.
Cookie dough. Okay.
Thin chip.
Okay.
Cookies and cream.
Cookies and cream?
Yeah.
What toppings would you put in a cookies and cream sundae?
More cookies and cream.
And how about another topping besides cookies and cream topping?
A little bit more cream.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
You sprinkles guy or not sprinkles guy?
Sprinkles.
Why not?
No, I had a dog named Sprinkles once.
Rainbow or chocolate?
It was a dog.
Oh, what? No, whatever. Well, maybe you call them rainbow sprinkles.
I'm kidding.
Chocolate
It
sprinkles.
wasn't a dog. My dog was Muttley.
Muttley, okay.
Muttley, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Ice cream. I don't know. I definitely had good ice cream. I think it was like that Ben and Jerry's shit back in the day, you know?
Yeah?
Like Funky Monkey and all that weird shit. Right?
Yeah,
Chubby Hubby.
Yeah.
There was some good ones.
I'm more of a big flurry type of guy, like McDonald's. Put a little M&M.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that shit. I like
I
like a cheap shell, like a good fucking McDonald's dinner, and a
that.
good McFlurry for dessert.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. All right. So no Middle East talk, huh?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's a shame.
You hate the Jews.
I love the Jews.
Oh. Okay. You hate the Palestine.
I don't hate anybody. I love everybody equally, Tom.
Okay. So religious.
Religion. Talk about
You wanna
religion.
talk about religion?
Sure, God. Yeah.
Okay. So tell me about your religious beliefs.
Oh, here we go. It's like a whole different.
Okay. Well, let me see. Let me check the time here. Where we at? We're at recording.
It's fuck o'clock, Tom.
Yeah, 57
Oh,
minutes. 57 minutes. And we're recording at 60 frames per second.
HD 4K.
Now let's talk about Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, you.
All right. Test. Oh, did I just? Oh, no.
Oh no, Tom muted himself.
Test.
Tom doesn't love Jesus. That's the reason why.
Test. Oh, there we go.
He loves Jesus.
Jesus. My
So,
Lord and Savior. All
what
right.
do you want to know about religion? Talk to me.
So first off,
Yeah.
I just want to get this straight. Just let's get the record. I recently converted away from Christianity.
So what are you now?
I'm Pastafarian.
Pastafari?
Yeah, you knew this though, right?
Explain this to me. You did, but
So,
explain to the audience what
Yeah,
this is.
it's pretty much FSM is the Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster,
Okay.
and I studied, I read the gospel, and I became an ordained minister.
Are you going to marry me one day?
I can if you want.
Beautiful.
As an ordained minister, I'm allowed to perform certain rites and rituals.
Beautiful.
If you want, I'm a card-carrying member. I could show you my card. There's a QR code on it. You can scan it. And you could look me up on the registry. I'm on the registry,
okay.
yeah.
Nice.
And it just shows that I'm official. I'm the real deal. Yeah, ramen, brother. 100%.
Allah, jihad. I don't know. I mean,
Oh, I own that movie now too.
Oh,
You
great
should watch
movie,
some
right?
Team America.
I love. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So okay,
America.
but so what you call it? So we've gotten into some good religious.
For a lot of alcohol, we've done this.
Oh yeah.
A lot
yeah,
of 3 a.m. discussions about Jesus at White Castle and
Yeah.
why I
okay.
love Jesus and
Yeah.
we've had some great topics.
I mean, he is like the
he's the easy for cheesy.
the Neo like of the Matrix. Like he is like the main.
He's the man.
Yeah, like he's a very lovable character.
He is
A man. Sorry, I'm not trying.
He is a man. He's son of God.
No, but I said character. Like,
oh
I
no,
didn't mean like.
No, he's the son of God.
No,
he's the son of God.
Yeah, yeah. So, what does that mean, though? Son of God. That means that. Hold on. We got a mittens here.
We have some Tom's giving. There's some pussy for Tom.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's Tom's pussy.
Yeah, that's my good girl.
It's Mittens.
Okay, Mittens, say hello.
Mittens doesn't want to be bothered. Mittens just wants a good steak dinner and some ice cream.
Yeah.
That's what she wants.
So you're gonna say blowjob again?
No.
All right. So, what's it called? So the son of God. What does that mean? Does that mean he's? Because I heard that he is God. It's very complicated, right?
Yep.
I heard he's God, but he's also not God. But he's also his son. But he's also not genetically.
He is
okay.
God. He's God in human form. That's what he is basically.
Okay.
God was, obviously God's perfect.
But he didn't know it, right? He didn't know it until he was oh, stop looking at me. Here's the thing. They don't really go into this, but he was a normal human boy, and he lived a normal life where he think of all the time he learned to do carpentry, right? He was a carpenter, right?
Yeah.
All of his carpentry lessons, it wasn't like God was just bam, you're a carpenter and you've learned everything.
Yeah,
he lived a normal life as a boy, right?
He did.
So there came a time. I don't know this, but
I mean,
there came a time where he must have been told oh, by the way, he must have known, right?
He's always known. I mean, it was
He always knew. That's the story.
He always knew. Hey, baby.
So he just
I mean, it was to carry out a mission. It was
He just always knew that he was on that mission.
Yeah.
So I thought I could have sworn there was a visitation or an angel. No one came to him and told him. I thought that there was something like that. They came to him and said he was because he went on the classic hero's journey. I think I mean I could have sworn
he was tempted by
charged with.
He was tempted by Satan. For 40 days.
Oh, who is
in the
this,
desert?
Right?
I know.
Las Vegas. Am I right?
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. I've never been. I want to go. Have you been to Vegas?
Is that what the wandering the desert thing was? He was lost and he had to find his way back?
Yeah, and Jesus was tempted, and Satan was going to give him the world. And he's like, no, obviously not.
Yeah.
But,
Okay. All right, interesting.
Religion is important to me. I mean,
Now, how do you...
It's not really religion that's important to me. It's a relationship. That's the most important thing to me.
Your relationship with
Jesus.
With Jesus, okay.
Religion it's more of an establishment.
Yeah, see, that's where I really rage against the fucking... Organized religion, I fucking hate. I'm into people.
I'm into, loving God. Oh, hey, baby.
Yeah, she's looking at you.
She's licking me now.
Yeah.
Just like you last night.
Look, this. She's in one frame and she's coming out the other.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, baby.
Look at that. Look how long she looks.
Oh, you're such a good girl.
She looks really long.
I know. Now she'll lick my dick next.
Oh, easy, dude. Easy, dude. My friends and family are gonna watch this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at my. Oh, look how.
Oh, hey. We're next to each other.
Here, let me pull it over. Let me pull it. What? Give me a hand. Give me a hand. Right. Watch. Now pull it over. Lean over. Lean in. Ah! 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 His face.
That's retarded.
Okay, so back to our.
No, I'm not.
So you're saying that
I'm not a big fan of organized religion personally.
Yeah. No, me neither.
Not.
That's really what turned me off the most is because I kind of viewed it that way.
There's a lot of fucked up preachers out there.
Yeah,
there really is.
Okay, but here's the thing. I don't even think it's a lot of them. I think it's most of them.
There's a lot of them.
I think it's most. That's the problem. Look, listen. All right. I don't even know how to. All
right.
So there's.
Tell me. I'll tell you what I think.
First off, I think half of them are in a business. They're literally. They're allowed to dodge taxes.
Some of them are.
They're allowed to hide under the religious guise of this being more important and holy and whatever.
Some are.
Okay.
But not most. Not all.
They enjoy the power because they are special because they are closer to God. Okay.
Not all, but some. Yes.
Okay. Again, yeah. I'm just telling you what I've seen. Okay.
Yep.
Some of them are pedophiles that are being hidden in the church. And that's been a long time. That's the worst thing it would be one thing if the church made an example of them and was like, look, we do not stand for this. They outed them. They turned on them. But what they really did was just move them around and hide it and do this and that or whatever. And to me,
that's fucked up.
That's such a crime that to me, it's over. That to me, that was it. If you are molesting children and you and now the whole organization by hiding that or continuing has lost all credibility and then some, and it to the point of which I don't believe it has. Like I don't. I'm sorry, but like 0%. That's it.
Well,
Done.
the proof's in the pudding now.
Done.
In a lot of ways.
I mean, literally. There are Satan worshipers, and I think that they're not as bad as the church because I don't think there's underground sex pedophilia.
You never know.
Well,
you never know, man.
Well, I'll tell you, most of you're right. I'm not
hidden.
part of this, but most of the Satan worshipers that the Church of the Satanic, whatever, they really just try to fight separation of church and state and stuff like that, which is something that I agree with, but I'm not going to join the fucking.
But how many people are part of the Church of Satan in the United States?
Oh, well, not as much.
Okay, so look at the percentage.
Yeah, it's not. But to me, my point is that how many people are part of this? How does not everyone get together and expel this shit from their church? Like I don't understand. Like how can that not be done? How come there can't be a petition amongst all Christians signed that we zero tolerance policy on any of these priests or religious leaders that are caught? Why can't there be a Me Too movement for altar boys?
Well, the proof's in the pudding, I believe.
What?
Especially in the Roman Catholic Church. I mean, look at the attendance of the Roman Catholic Church these days.
Yeah.
I mean, the Diocese of Rockville Center, I mean, they're fucking bankrupt. They're bankrupt.
Nobody's going.
I mean, it's bankrupt. I mean, a lot of young people, like, in our generation, don't go to church. The people that do go to church are, majority of the people, like, are born-again Christians, But even that's down. I mean, like, it's almost, well, they were saying for many, many years it was almost impossible to start a church on Long Island because, it's like a graveyard for churches because people don't want to go to church.
Is religion itself dying?
I think people want something bigger, and they want to know more. But at the same time, like the way we're brought up and the way like religion is kind of like portrayed in culture, people are turned off by it.
Do you think that like
most people think Christians are hypocrites, but not all are hypocrites.
Well, some of them are.
Some are, for sure.
I gotta tell you, like it's. I think most of the politicians that claim to be Christian, they're saying God this, God that, and I'm literally like, oh, you mean like turn the other cheek, like they like.
Well, here's what's hypocritical. Here's what's hypocritical about the whole situation.
Yeah.
Is that we're all hypocrites to a certain extent because
of course.
If you we're also all sinners too, right? But if you don't follow here's what people kind of like fight with me on this one. If you think about the Bible as a whole, right, and what it says in the Bible and how it says to be a Christian, how to treat people, if you follow that, right, and you did that to what it says in the Bible, exactly what it says, the exact contextual meaning behind the word, right, we're all hypocrites because we all fail every day.
Of course.
Right?
But don't they say you're going to? Isn't that part of it?
Right, we all fail, but there is ways to act and to be, but most Christians fail a lot of the times. And what happens is that, especially when a Christian fails the most at this, people say, you're a hypocrite because you couldn't follow the word in the Bible, you just act this way. But we're all hypocrites, dude. We're all hypocrites. We all fall. It sucks. It's crazy, but that's just the way it is.
Yeah,
I fall every single day.
Yeah, but that's okay.
I mean,
that's okay.
it is what it is.
Listen,
but there's ways to treat people. At the end of the day, if you really want to break down what the scripture says, it's about loving people and respecting people, treating people equally. That's the message that I live by.
Listen,
that's what's important thing to me.
My problem with the hypocrisy is when I'm a Christian and I love Jesus, but these fucking immigrants on the border, I'm going to turn them right around. I got my AR-15. I will shoot you if you come onto my property. I will end your life. Because Jesus himself said on the cross, if someone comes onto your property, you shoot them with your AR. And you don't let anyone else into your country,
that's just being a bigot, man.
Yeah, but, okay, but I have a problem with how do you rectify those? And I get that's not everybody. I'm giving you an extreme example, but look, that's my biggest problem is that when I do read, I don't find any flaws in any of Jesus or any of his teachings. I think that he's made to be the perfect, man.
We said perfect, but. God's perfect, so.
Okay, yeah, I got it. Literally,
he's the perfect
life, his lessons and the things that I got it.
Makes sense.
He's a great role model to follow. I have trouble with people thinking, and this I guess is any religion, whether it's Allah or anything else, that they're in the right, that they know better because Jesus is on their side, so they could do this. And it's you're using that as a tool or an excuse or whatever. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know. I think people sometimes, bend.
So let me ask you: Do you think that the churches are closing do you think that it's people are losing their faith, or do you think their faith is just changed to personal? Like they believe their religion more personally. What was it? The Reformation. You know, the Lutheran. It was Luther. Martin Luther.
Lutheranism.
What is that?
It's cat sleep. Mittens is sleeping over there.
Oh, she's sleeping.
Yeah, she's sleeping.
She's doing a little snoring. Okay. Like, do you think that it's so the church is closing down, or people going to them less? Is it because we're so busy with work and everything? Are people losing touch with their community? Is it because the church was the community thing? Like, what is it? Or is it a direct representation of people being less religious or not taking their religion seriously anymore?
A little bit of everything. I mean, yeah. A little bit of everything. I mean, there's been periods of my life where I didn't really attend church, and I mean, being in it for so many years, you see things for face value.
Yeah. You had a rough go.
You become more educated.
Yeah.
What to look for, but at the end of the day, too, you have to say to yourself, well, I'm not perfect, they're not perfect, but you got to be very selective who you trust, who you want in your life, and how you approach church without getting burned. Because a lot of people do get burned from church. A lot of people just put everything into it, but I don't think any extreme is good. I think you need to know when to differentiate the good from the bad, and I think it's important to go. Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do.
Why do you think that? Like, why is it important to go? Is it a community, or is it like a
little bit of everything? I mean, you always learn something new when you go. I mean, a lot of the teachings that were taught, 2,000 years ago, are relevant or basically important today. And I really feel like that. I always feel like you learn something new and you take something new out of it when you go.
There's always like a lesson that's taught, and there's a
well, if you want to bring it biblically, it's like a parable, It's a lesson. So I think in any teaching from any pastor, there's a parable and a lesson.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
Sure.
So the stories that are in the Bible, I mean, a lot of times you could clearly derive a clear parable from it.
Yeah.
Do you believe that that's the intent of it, or do you think that it was written in the literal? Like Noah's Ark, for instance, is that a real ark? Like, they've measured it. I mean, they gave measurements to how big it was, right? Mm-hmm. They literally, and there's like math involved.
They made a scale of it. They actually made a scale model of it.
I know, but like, clearly you can't fit every species on something that's like what? Like, what am I missing? Like, is it?
I don't know. I mean, I think that boils down to faith too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. You don't think that do you feel like it would like possibly like there are parts of that because there was like the Council of Nicene where they made some changes, they did some little editing to because they didn't like how some passages, they took some chapters out or whatever, now look, I'm not saying that it's horseshit, but maybe God has a way, and maybe there was like the steers man's hand kind of thing. Like,
I think faith also plays a huge part into it as well.
Yeah.
You never know.
But you don't think that
But I do believe that God selected a few group of people or
to put it together.
Or selected people. No, well, you think about King David and stuff like that, and like certain like the apostles, for example. I think certain people were chosen, but the whole theme of the whole thing was that God always selected the most normal of people, people that would fall short all the time, and I think that kind of like is the same for us in modern day, where it's like God will use the most ordinary person to carry out His mission, whether it be like, for example, let's say you're having a bad day, for example, right?
Yeah.
And then God put me in your life for a certain season or a certain situation, circumstance. Mm-hmm. I feel it's the same thing today, just different examples of it. But like, I believe He uses normal people to do miraculous things.
Okay, but again, let's just go back to the question.
Sure.
So do you think that it's literal, like the stories when they're talking about Noah's Ark? It's a real ark. It's a real rainstorm. It's really every species of on Earth. Or do you think that it's a parable? Like, is it meant to be real, or is it meant to be a parable? A story for man at the time to understand what the message is supposed to be.
Personally, again, I'm not 100% certain. I believe anything that happened in the New Testament was literal.
Literal?
Yes. Okay. Do I believe that Jesus performed miracles? Yes, I did. Okay. Yes, I do. I do believe He performed miracles. Like, turning water into wine, or like feeding thousands with one fish. Yeah, I
Or
believe
taking
that.
a 3-day nap. I mean, we all wish we could take a 3-day
I mean, I
nap.
do that sometimes too,
Yeah.
so I'm like
Okay.
Jesus in that way. But
All right.
no, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I do believe in miracles.
Okay.
I believe in modern day miracles. Like the person that gets into that serious car accident that won't die, that lives.
You know what's crazy, dude, is
I do believe that.
most of his miracles, if I remember correctly, I mean, modern day science would be indistinguishable from curing the sick, or back then it would be a miracle. Even today, certain things you would see today that were miracles in 50 years might not be. Like literally, our technology just is becoming more and more. It would be indistinguishable between magic.
Right. I know some people like kind of worry about this, and like they're kind of like, I don't believe that, but like. How about those who, let's say, go to an actual service and get healed from cancer like a month later, or the person that
like the laying of hands or whatever,
right, laying hands, or the person that can't hear, and then after the service, like they can fully hear.
So
I believe in
I'm fully
that.
skeptical about that. I think if anyone is cured from something like that and they're not a charlatan, I think what that is some super subconscious like block that's going on. Like I think there's something super psychoanalytic, like for them, like what's it called, the placebo effect, kind of like you
but
something
for hearing though,
dude,
from walking.
Well,
I mean, you can't walk. Let's say you walk. I mean, that's not a miracle.
I don't know what the answer is. I just know that I highly doubt that. I don't.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know.
Here's the thing, and this bothers me the most. And I'm not saying that there is a God. I'm not saying there isn't. I don't, 100% know. There's got to be a higher power to some extent.
There is.
I don't know if it's an entity or multiple entities, or I don't know how it started or whatever. I'm not 100% sure, but like, if I am to believe that God can intervene to do things for certain people sometimes, then I fucking despise him for the bone cancer in children, for the suffering that goes on, for the dying kids everywhere, for the fucking famine. If he can intervene at some hokey pokey fucking church and oh my God, I can walk again. No, fuck that bitch. Let her die. Cure the fucking starvation in the fucking Sudan. Don't waste your fucking magic juice.
Listen, I question
Don't
that
waste
too.
your magic juice on that. Go over there. Go. How about COVID-19? How about the fucking deaths of the refrigerator? So the truth is that look, I'm not really mad. The thing is that I don't think that he does, or it or she does interfere. I think we are on our own to some extent. Maybe it was put into motion, and maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe we're in a test. Maybe we're in a simulation. Maybe there is something higher. I'm not I'm not ruling that out. But I don't think that I think we have each other. I think that's it. I think we have each other.
To a certain extent, yes.
And I think that, maybe
it does say
the point is to manifest that
it
God
does say that
through-
we were born to be in relationships with people.
Yeah.
It said we can't do life alone. That was definitely in the Bible.
Mhm.
But I feel like a lot of it also, boils down to faith as well. You got to believe in something bigger than you, and that's what faith kind of like interlocks and.
To me, like faith is, it's like the intentional like suspension of disbelief kind of thing. Like it's like if you're watching a sci-fi movie, like that's what it is to me. It's just like it's like having the evidence that something isn't the case, but believing it anyway. Like I'm not mocking it or whatever, but that's how it feels to me. It's just I'm at the point now where that's I just can't. I can't continue to just believe, even though that's it seems more like a denial thing to me, but I understand it. I get you're not alone, and I have friends and family, and I respect their I love them very much, and that's what they believe, and I get it. Just for me it's different. I have a different a different relationship with, I guess we would call it God, or so. Okay, so let's wrap this up with one final topic: aliens. Everybody talks about.
I don't know anything about aliens.
Know anything about aliens?
No, I don't.
You don't know? Okay.
I see stuff on the news.
Well,
I don't
yeah,
know.
you say, well, there you go. See, it used to be a crazy question to ask someone.
Okay.
To ask somebody, oh, you think aliens are real, right? It's not that crazy anymore, because there's literally videos being released from the Department of Defense.
I've heard.
Okay, you've seen. Yeah,
I've
right?
seen, I've heard.
All right, and there have been on other podcasts or whatever, actual live footage, Commander Fravor and others who were actually there,
Okay.
Actually saw it.
Okay.
The Tic Tac video, the Go Fast, all right, of a unidentified flying object, or UAP as they call them,
Okay.
unidentified aerial, whatever the fuck, projectile, whatever the fuck they want to call them, because the UFOs have the woo, okay, of them moving very, very high speed of rate, jamming radar, surfacing and going underneath water. Okay. You know, they literally 1-to-1 ratio video of them moving around, multiple, and they're not weather balloons. They're not. I mean,
okay.
I don't have an explanation for it.
Same.
I don't think, you know, and I hear this on the Joe Rogan show all the time, whatever, that like he thinks like there could be probes that are like from under the ocean where they come up, they monitor or whatever, you know, probes from an alien race from a long time ago, whatever. I don't know. I think the only answer that there is possibly like someone made a prank and like hacked the fucking Department of Defense you know, sensors, like someone put a joke program in there to run. I mean, I don't know. Like, what is the answer to that? How is that? You know, like I don't understand it. To me, it's like they're releasing this. They're saying it's real. Is this them letting us know that hey, there's other shit out there? Like, you know, I mean,
that's a great question. I don't know. I mean,
what would that mean for religion? Let's tie that to religion. Like, let's say we found out for sure there was life on Europa.
Yeah.
Okay, and we're under those oceans. Do they worship Jesus? Like, do we have to bring Jesus to them?
I don't know. That's a great question.
If they're worshiping a God, is it the same God? Is maybe do they come to this? Maybe they come to the same universal truth, you know, without possibly. You know.
I mean, if you believe in God and you believe that He created everything, whether it be Earth.
I'm asking you very difficult questions here, Dave.
I don't know.
There aren't answers. Well, that's the right answer. Nobody does. So.
There really is no answer I can give you. I don't know. I mean.
All right. So if you had to gamble, like, would you gamble yes that there are aliens out there, or would you gamble no that the universe is empty and fruitless?
I couldn't even answer that one, man. I don't even know personally.
Yeah.
I never really even thought about aliens.
You know, yeah.
No.
Well,
no,
yeah, I mean,
this is all new. You know, this is all new.
It's all new to you.
Yeah.
You've never wait. Okay, so what about the size of the universe? You ever thought of that? You know how big you know how many planets there are, how many stars there are? You ever think about that?
To me, it's infinity.
You think that? It's not. Well,
to me, it's infinity.
Space might go out infinity.
It's infinity.
But the amount of planets and stars. So
there's planets upon.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
It's layered. Again, it's layered.
It turns out, we learned this recently, that planets are a common byproduct of stars. Like, if you find a star, which look up in the sky, and that's just our galaxy. Then
right.
There's thousands and billions and billions of galaxies.
Yeah.
So, like, but for sure, there's going to be enough planets out there. You know, the odds that some of them have, like, now, here's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's, you know, you're thinking about that now, but it could have been millions of years ago. It could be millions of years from now. Like, you know, if you took the universe and stretched it out over a bubble, you know, every second is a million years, let's say, or 100 million years. It could be like a civilization starts and it's over, and then a couple seconds later, starts over.
Possibly.
There could be just millions of civilizations popping up everywhere. You know, I mean,
no idea.
It's incredible. You know, if you think about it, and I think it's likely. I think there's got to be some shit out there. Like, I think, you know, either they're in the past or in the future. You know,
it's possible. Definitely possible.
All right. Okay. Well, you should think about it then. If you don't have any thoughts about it, you know.
I really don't. I mean,
all right. If you had to gamble, yes or no? No, you wouldn't gamble. You couldn't. Let's say Let's say you're at the casino. I gave you $100. We're about to go to the afterlife, and you have to gamble. There's either aliens out there or there's not. Where do you put the money?
A 401k.
Okay. And Dan officially dodges the last question.
And
there we go. It goes into his 401k. All right.
You know I fucking love you. You know that, right?
I love you too, brother. All right.
Let's touch our tips.
Let's gingerly touch this. It's off screen.
Oh.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the podcast.
The force is strong.
All right. We're going out.
Thanks.